Welcome to Baby Boomer Tales. My name is Jim. Thank you for riding along today. You can find us at babyboomertales.com. Once you've arrived at our webpage, you can find links to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, our Boomer's General Store, a place to buy our book, and many links to your favorite podcast providers. My dad had a grocery store when I was growing up, and part of him having a grocery store is he brought all the things he could not sell home with him. He'd bring the bent cans home. He'd bring the cans with no labels home. He'd bring the bruised fruit, the wilted lettuce, the brown bananas. He brought all that kind of stuff home. My mom was a great cook, and she was a world-class banana bread maker. I mean, she probably made banana bread with those old rotten brown bananas my dad would bring home daily. She'd go around town giving people some. You know, here's a loaf of banana bread. We always had banana bread at the house. She made 2 kinds of banana bread. Maybe it was 3 kinds of banana bread. First kind, she loved walnuts, and so she put walnuts in them. The second kind, I hated walnuts and would get little canker sores on my tongue when I ate a walnut, so she made banana bread with no walnuts. She also made banana bread with a frosting on the top, and it was almost like it had a little taste of coffee in it. I'm not sure. She knew that as a kid we all hated coffee. Not anymore though. But I think she liked that coffee icing, and it wasn't bad. I would eat it as long as it didn't have walnuts in it. We sat in our kitchen for most of our dinners. We had a dining room, but we sat in the kitchen. The kitchen was kind of small, and we had this yellow chrome dinette set. And it had 2 leaves, one on each end, and we pulled those leaves up, and all 6 of us could sit there and eat dinner. It was crowded, but that was okay. If the phone rang, one of us was sitting right by that wall phone. We could reach up and nab the phone. And my mom tried to make us a very healthy dinner that was also tasty. Some of the things she would make, I loved her fried chicken. It was the best. We'd have fish about once a week, and that usually consisted of fish sticks, because us kids would eat fish sticks and maybe not some good cut of fish, you know, some salmon or whatever. We'd rather have a fish stick. We had hamburgers periodically, nice roasts and things like that. But we also had liver. Once a week we would have liver and onions. And really we all ate it, and it wasn't the worst thing that was ever put on the dinner table, and we had to eat some of everything anyway. There's no getting out of that. And so I did learn to love liver. No, I didn't love it. I learned to eat liver. Now, I'd put ketchup on it. Mom would cook it really very well done, kind of sear it on both sides. We always had it where it was real thin, so maybe she cut it or filleted it or something. I'm not sure, but we did eat that liver. It wouldn't make me gag. It wouldn't make me throw up. It wouldn't make me too excited. I'd rather have a hamburger or cheeseburger. Most definitely. I would even rather have a fish stick than that liver, but I ate it. I ate all my liver every week. Now for the song of the week. Last week we forgot to do this new segment.
Jim, we were wrong to not tell you that you forgot the song of the week. We just wanted to let you do your thing. Yeah.
Okay, Munchies. I apologize. I do apologize. I've already brought it up to everybody, so you didn't need to remind me again. But that was very nice of you to not interrupt. So, anyway, the song of the week this week is Take Me Home Country Roads by John Denver, written by Bill Danoff, Taffy Nivert, and John Denver. It was released in April of 1971. It peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. It is one of 4 official state anthems for the state of West Virginia. Danoff and Nivert almost sold this song, this great country-ish folk song, to Johnny Cash. I told a story on one of our previous segments about this song, how John Denver came about helping them rewrite it a little, tweaked it just a little, and then he recorded it instead of them selling it to Johnny Cash. And even though John Denver sang about Colorado all the time, his identity, he wanted to be Colorado. He lived in Colorado up there in Aspen and all that. Well, this song, Take Me Home, Country Roads, is the song that really defines him. Almost Heaven, West Virginia. Liver is one of the most nutritionally dense foods on the planet. It contains significant amounts of folate, iron, vitamin B, vitamin A, and copper. Eating a single serving of liver can help you meet your daily recommended amount of all these vitamins and minerals, reducing your risk of nutrient deficiency. What are the pros and cons of eating liver? Well, beef liver is a nutrient-dense food that is also high in protein and low in calories. As a result, it may provide a number of potential health benefits, such as supporting the immune and nervous systems. However, because it is so rich in certain vitamins, people may experience toxicity if they eat too much of it. Now for some jokes. What do you call a man who owns a lot of workout equipment? Jim. What do you call a man hanging on the wall? Art. What do you call a man in the ocean? Bob. What do you call 2 men hanging out above the window curtain? Rod. Da 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 da. Hey, Pop, where do you think you're going? Homer, I'm going home to eat dinner. Anna's making my favorite, liver and onions. Liver and onions? I didn't think Mrs. Dumas would make that awful liver and onions, Pop. Anna. Homer, I've told you. Her name is Anna. My mom really wanted to feed her family the very best she could. Now, she had one challenge, and that is my dad bringing all this random food home. I can remember my brother John and I opening one of those mystery cans, and we had a little bet going that whatever it was, one of us would have to eat a bite. And I don't know how this came about, but I won the bet, and John had to eat what we were going to open. So we got the can opener out, and we pushed those handles together, and it made a pop in the top of the can. And we turned the crank, and we turned the crank, and we turned the crank, and we turned the crank. And then we took the top of the can off, and inside it was dog food. And I think John and I had another big fight. We probably wrestled. He wasn't going to eat dog food. And I said, John, you've got to eat the dog food. It was a bet and you lost. Well, as far as I can remember, John didn't eat any of the dog food. And I was highly disappointed. I wanted to witness that. So I had some good old ammunition against my little brother. You know, we could call him Rover instead of John. But it never came to pass. And I think we probably did get in trouble for opening a can of dog food after the dog had been fed already. But whatever. You know, little boys will do what little boys do. and I really thought he'd eat a little bite of that dog food. It wouldn't have hurt him a bit. Might have been better than that liver for him. We also had just really yummy, delicious food that my mom would make. She is the best fried chicken cooker I've ever known. She'd make these nice roasts. She did do green bean casserole once in a while, which I didn't appreciate and didn't like, but she'd make vegetables, you know. Canned peas was not my favorite either. To this day, the only canned vegetable I'll eat. Now, I had to eat it back home when I was growing up, but not today, and that is canned corn. I will eat canned corn. It's okay stuff. My mother made us dinner every night with loving hands and that great big heart of hers, doing her best and what she knew for her kids and her husband. My dad had some weird tastes. He really did. I don't know if it was from growing up during the Depression or just what, but besides liver and onions, which he relished, he loved it. It was the best as far as he could tell. He loved canned spinach. I can't hardly even remember eating canned spinach without regurgitating just a little. Now, fresh spinach in a nice salad is okay. That's okay. So I'm not anti-spinach, but you eat that canned spinach and you pour vinegar on it, and I can't think of anything worse, really. Well, there's a few things I think might be worse. He also liked crackers and milk. He would take saltine crackers and squash them up into this glass and then pour milk over them and then eat it with a spoon. Pretty weird, huh? We're talking about the same man, though, that wore silky socks. Thought those were the greatest kind of socks on earth. Now, I'm not making fun of my dad. They're just things that I didn't quite understand why he was into it. And that's a couple. He also liked sardines, bait. But I have a friend that he just took a European vacation, and somewhere around England where they might eat that very same thing, he had something called white bait or something, and it was indeed bait. He explained it to me later. My dad and mom did come from another generation than I did, and I'm sure my kids probably wonder some of the stuff that I enjoy, but that's okay. But I do know my mother's favorite meal was a cheeseburger. I do know that. And my favorite food of all times is a hamburger. I could pretty much eat a hamburger with no cheese and prefer it that way. If someone offered it with cheese, that's okay. I'm not that particular. Like I've told you before, I won't eat hummus, although I tried it. I won't eat eggplant. I won't eat tofu. And I surely won't eat canned spinach. There has to be a better way in this life. I really miss my dad and mom. I admire the way they took care of us the best they knew how. My mom's way was serving us and making us feel important, doing her best to keep us healthy and happy. And my dad's way was trying to prepare us for the future, teaching us a great work ethic and never beating us. You might laugh at that, but a couple generations ago, beating a child was not an odd occurrence. It did happen. And thank God Almighty it didn't happen in my house. Now, we did get spankings once in a while, but we must have really deserved them because we pulled some stuff that we probably should have had spankings every day. I love my mom and dad, and I really miss them. I've made tributes to them on these podcasts before. Every once in a while, I'll go back and listen to those when I'm feeling a little melancholy and want to have my heartstrings pulled just a little. I wanted to be kind, and so I made the decision to be. I wanted to be loved, and so I made the decision to love. I wanted to smile, and so I made the decision to tell my face. Always be kind. There is no better way. I'll be back next Wednesday. Enjoy your dinner tonight. Peace out.